So this is the Matt and Mike podcast, and I told you not to prepare for this because I have some stuff to ask you and to go over. Usually this is a thing where we both, we have a topic ahead of time, like most podcasts do, and we, research it and stuff.
We do, tons of work. Yeah. We really put in the man hours.
Yeah, and by that, if you've ever listened to them, it's like it varies. But
is this a very special episode?
This is a very special episode.
Oh,
because going down to the manhole. Because this year, they're doing Star Wars Rogue One, and then next year is the Star Wars episode. What 7 or no 8? Because Force Unleashed was 7, right?
Yep.
Okay, so
AKA flooding the market.
Yeah. Well, this is going to be a Star Wars centered episode. Oh, no. I didn't want you to be prepared for this at all because Matt is like a huge Star Wars fan.
I'm not prepared to talk about Star Wars.
But the stuff that I'm kind of like centering this around is Star Wars like fan theories and Star Wars like possible rumors.
Oh, no.
And I want you to comment on. I have a bunch of stuff here.
No.
I want you to comment on like what you think about this stuff. And give your. And I'll chime in, so it won't just be like you and stuff like that. But
they're all fake. George Lucas is the man. The end. Next.
That was a good podcast. Okay, so
man,
just trying to figure out where to start here.
I remember you sent me one like a while back.
The Jar Jar.
Yeah, is that on this?
No, it's not. Yeah, because we already covered that one.
That made my blood. That set me off.
Yeah. Okay. So this one. let's do this one first. Qui-Gon Jinn was a secret Sith.
Okay.
Before I get into this, any
not
thoughts
true.
about this?
Not true. Totally.
Well, I mean, as far as like just.
I'm trying to think of like what evidence there is to, or even like hints to support that theory.
I have a couple like each one of these. I have like things why people think these, so I can like
he was like kind of on the outs from the other Jedi.
Right. Yeah.
He like broke the mold.
Right. Yeah.
He didn't want to conform to what
like what you would see like a Jedi 100% like no relationship, no like just straight up, almost like a monk kind of deal.
Yeah. And he was all about those midichlorians, man.
Yeah, that's true. And we know that's pretty evil. So, here's some of like the reasons people put out for that. That Qui-Gon was once a pupil of Count Dooku.
Yeah.
And it's a Sith Lord with a name fit for what? What does that mean? Okay, another one is Qui-Gon pushed for Jedi Council approval to train Anakin, who he knew to have a lot of anger, fear, and suffering in his heart.
But I feel like he was coming from the right place.
Right, yeah, this is, like I said, this is just stuff that people had put. It says, if you want to go outside the movies, which I'm going to try to avoid, I guess as much in this, but it says, Qui-Gon also had an apprentice who turned to the dark side.
Really?
Apparently, that's
what on like some like young adult novel or some crap.
I don't know. It doesn't like list sources here, but like
you want to talk outside the movie? The next emperor
becomes Jesus. I think there was other stuff that I had read like that's not on this list about like Qui-Gon. He like you were saying he had used. He didn't necessarily do things that were like completely smiled upon with like like Yoda probably would have been like what the hell like with the whole like cheating to win like at gambling and the gambling anyway and like using force powers to Obi-Wan did that, but it was kind of a little like shady and stuff like that, but that doesn't mean he's evil. This is like I said, this is just like one of the theories I have on here.
What do you think?
No. Yeah, I don't think he was like a secret Sith, but at the same time, like.
But how come when he was killed, his body didn't disappear? Like,
that's true. That's true, but yeah, I mean.
And Yoda's.
Yeah, I don't know.
I want answers.
Maybe he was a secret Sith then.
Oh, shit.
Because apparently, I guess, is it like if you're a Sith, you can't. I mean, Anakin, I guess he came back at the end. And then he was able to, like, become a ghost.
Yeah.
Because he, like, you know, accepted the Jedi way. Back or whatever.
Yeah, like at the very last second.
So, the next one is, stormtroopers didn't kill Luke's aunt and uncle. The theory that they put forth here that it was actually Boba Fett, because later on in the movies, Darth Vader goes up to him and specifically says no disintegrations.
Yeah.
And it's like, why would he say it to Boba Fett if that wasn't something he'd done before?
Specifically to Luke's parents.
Well, yeah. To Luke's parents, a.k.a. his step-parents.
Yeah.
Or step... Yeah.
Whatever they are.
Yeah. But, like...
Actually, that one I might be able to get behind that, because, like, when they showed their corpses, they were, like...
They were charred.
Yeah. Like, it wasn't like some stormtroopers just came in and shot them.
Right, because if you get shot, you just
fall over.
The most horrifying
thing I've ever seen.
Yeah. It's like they were burned to death.
They were, like, crispy skeletons.
Yeah. Yeah.
I could almost get behind that one.
That one's not, like, out of control, because it's one of those things where you could see, like, shit going out of hand, and, like, maybe Boba Fett just murdered the fuck out of him.
Yeah, and we know that since Tatooine's, like, the most remote planet in the galaxy, everyone has been there.
Right.
Like,
so
everything
like
went down.
Shady
So
bullshit.
why not add Boba Fett?
Right. Yeah, I know, right?
What if it was Qui-Gon?
Could have been. Qui-Gon's revenge.
Yeah, he came back beyond the grave.
I could get behind that.
To murder Luke's parents.
Yeah. Next one is, Tatooine is the last place Darth Vader would look for his son because he hates sand.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
But I think the reason why, like, people even propose this is because it's kind of a big plot hole. Well, not a huge plot hole, but it's kind of like they were hidden there, or he was hidden there, but at the same time, that's where, like, Anakin grew up. I mean, I guess it's
So people are saying that why would you hide it in the one spot that he's, like, most familiar with, because he grew up there?
Possibly, but at the same time, it may be because, like, maybe Darth Vader knew where he was, but he just was, like, so in tune with, like, being the Emperor, being with the Emperor as far as, like, being a dark, like being with, like, him, and, like, because he gave up everything to become pretty much Darth Vader, that it's like, I don't know.
Here's what really happened.
I shit my pants.
And I won't say this often.
Okay.
But George Lewis.
Jerry Lewis's brother. George Lewis.
Like, oh, lady!
Yeah.
George Lucas flubbed it.
Oh, yeah. I mean...
By setting... He was like... He didn't realize the ramifications of setting, like, every single story on Tatooine.
Yeah.
Like, all the coincidences that would make happen.
Right.
Yeah. And then...
Yeah.
They made it worse in the new Star Wars by doing the same thing again, making it all on a desert planet. But, it's not really Tatooine.
Yeah.
It's a different planet, even though it looks exactly the same.
Maybe it's like that... There's just a lot of desert planets out there, and we don't know.
Apparently.
Yeah, I know, right? So the next one is that Han frequently uses the Force, and he doesn't even know it. Because, like, C-3PO claims that the odds of such, a feat of going through the asteroid field were 3,720 to 1.
Yeah.
There's other things like, in the canon version of Star Wars, Greedo fires the initial shot, and Han, who is the, waits for him to shoot.
Only a Jedi can move the way.
Yeah.
He like warped.
But
that's not true.
Right. But, like, that kind of stuff, it's like... But that's just, like, I mean... Honestly, like, really, if it wasn't for the other one, like, the one where he, like, moves its head to the side, that was clearly, like, George Lucas going back and being like, we don't want him to look like a total jerk and just straight up killing the guy, like, the other thing is, like, yeah, I mean, maybe he's got super lucky with the asteroid field thing, and he also survived the carbonite, and, I don't know.
I think it's, like, when ordinary people do extraordinary things, like someone lifts up a car to like save a.
Yeah.
Maybe it was like maybe the Force is similar.
Yeah, maybe like some people are able to like tune into it like all the time, and some people can only do it when they're at their most like.
Yeah.
Like about to die or some shit.
But that's the thing. You know how people always complain about how they're like, it made the Kessel run in 12 parsecs or whatever, but that doesn't make sense because a parsec is a unit of distance.
But I think it was like something like where it like, didn't you say it like moved the, or some shit?
Yeah, it's not about the speed, it's about how good the computer was to calculate the shortest route, which I thought was a pretty cool and nerdy explanation. So if that's the case, why didn't Han just let the computer fly through that asteroid field instead of him manually being like, yeah?
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe his computer wasn't good anymore or some shit.
Could be. Because Qui-Gon sabotaged it.
Yeah.
He was on board the whole time, like, sneaking around, like, hide her in the house.
He's tying fucking damsels in distress to asteroid tracks. The next
they
one...
should do that in the next special edition, just, like, insert them, like, peeking around corners everywhere they go.
Qui-Gon the Sith Master. Star Wars takes place in our galaxy. Apparently, like, that's one of the fan theories. Because they have... let's see here. It says... They're, like, with the E.T. and, like, E.T. characters and... the the council, like there is things here that says like there are other things that saying that maybe like the ETs have developed intergalactic space travel and like they're over there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure every movie starts out in a galaxy far, far away.
Yeah.
So I think that kind of shoots that. That's the only reasoning behind it is that there's ETs.
Well, it says like there's evidence that Hutts and Minox and even Gungans are from the Milky Way. Besides the fact that there are humans everywhere in Star Wars,
where's the evidence?
Comes from other sci-fi universes that hook in with Star Wars.
Where's the evidence? Show me the evidence. You can't just say there's evidence. No, there's not.
Oh yeah, I guess that was the closest, or the thing with like the ETs or whatever.
Mike, there's evidence here from another galaxy.
Maybe.
Oh.
Maybe. Let's see here. I'm seeing if I should maybe get into the for like there's a bunch of other ones here as far as like Force Awakens and stuff like that. Okay, here's one. Darth Maul as Boba Fett. Okay, so...
Let's think about this for a minute.
So...
Pretty sure Darth Maul died before Boba Fett was on the scene, but...
Okay, so here's what...
I'm willing to keep an open mind.
Wrote. Let's see. Now the theory, Maul, tired of running and hiding from Emperor Palpatine, decides to take on a new identity. Boba Fett is rising in the ranks...
But he died!
Well,
are they saying he survived?
Well, he lives like in the stuff that's like canon, like the Star Wars Rebels and all that stuff. Yeah. But like it says,
pretty strong.
Yeah, it says Boba Fett is rising in ranks of the bounty hunters, and as Mandalorian Maul, knowing the Mandalorian lifestyle and feeling as if he still rules it in a way, kills Boba and assumes his identity. He is able to work independently, even with the Empire, even with the Empire without knowing who he is. He gains his sense of self-worth back and maybe has plans to gain access to the Empire to best the Sith that employ him. I don't know, I guess that's the whole thing, is that like they think that, I mean, who fucking would even know? Even if it were true, why the fuck would, you know what I mean? Unless he took his mask off, you wouldn't know.
I think stuff like that is going to happen in some of these movies that they're going to be cranking out.
Like, there'll be some huge, like, shit going... Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But, I mean, you can say that he lived in the cartoons and stuff, but, like...
Until they show it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was in a cartoon, but I disagree. Like...
Well, I mean, that's, like...
I saw him die in that movie.
It's part of the actual stuff, though.
I reject that, is what I'm saying.
How?
By telling you. I don't believe that. I believe what happened in the movie. He got cut in half and died. No one could survive that.
So just like the original movies?
Yeah.
Or whatever?
Yeah.
Cool.
Am I not allowed to do that?
You can if you want, but it's just not like... It doesn't make any sense as far as...
It doesn't make any sense that he lived through that.
No, I mean,
it's total bullshit.
It doesn't make any sense that...
Here's why he survived, so they could sell more action figures of him with new configurations.
Maybe, yeah.
No, I'm just playing.
Oh. So you do think he's alive now?
No.
Oh, okay.
He died in Phantom Menace.
Shit.
What do you think about that one?
Oh, I don't really have a stake in it either way. I just kind of wanted to know what you thought of it.
Okay.
Let's see. I just have never been somebody...
Because I have a serious stake in these.
I've never, like, been someone to completely, like, reject, like, something that's been, like, if they say that, like, because, like, now that, like, the comics and all that stuff they made before in the books aren't considered anything it's just, like, now that Disney has it, they're getting rid of that and just doing what they put in. Like, I would just accept it myself.
But you can't, because at one point they said that counted, and then now they say it doesn't. So
yeah, I guess you could see that, because I never considered the books to ever be anything but just books. I didn't never consider them canon.
I didn't either.
Bullshit.
Exactly.
Yeah, I could see
Star
that,
Wars is a movie franchise. Anything
I could see
outside of that,
like a live action TV series.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll make one.
But
it'll probably lead to the death of Star Wars.
Too late.
Which is well, that's not dead, but
that was that happened with the prequels.
Yeah, they signed their fate.
I mean, it's not like it was fucking ever not capitalized on ever. As soon as they made the first...
It was never used as marketing.
As soon as the first movie was made, they were like, cha-ching, so it's not like Star Wars is untarnished.
You got me there.
But anyway, here's the next one. Leia and
You're talking about the franchise that sold kids an empty box?
Yeah. The franchise.
Made them pay for empty box.
George the franchise Lucas. Luke and Leia have a sibling. Now, the reason, this comes about is, so, I'm quoting off of a site here. It says, an editor at MaMPE recently noticed a possible error in the Star Wars The Force Awakens opening crawl. The sentence in question refers to Leia and reads, she is desperate to find her brother, Luke, and gain his help in restoring peace and justice to the galaxy. As Mike explained, it's missing very important commas around Luke. The commas are necessary because Luke is not essential to the meaning of the sentence brother. His name is unnecessary information, as Leia has only one brother, meaning it should be offset by commas. It says, because it seems suspicious that the very first part of the biggest movie of the year would have such an error, it's speculated that this could be a huge spoiler for the next movie. Luke isn't Leia's only brother. The pair might have another still unknown sibling. Or, of course, J.J. Abrams might not just care about commas.
This is the first one that I think is straight up wrong. Like, whoever wrote that is incorrect about their facts on grammar. So if I said, Mike, your brother Travis, that's an incorrect
that is weird, yeah. I don't, because everybody would know that that's my brother.
Not what if I was talking to a stranger and I said, Mike, your brother Travis, what's his deal? I mean...
Well, if you said his, then, people would automatically know that's one person.
Yeah? I don't know.
Like, you're trying to say it's straight up, they might have a sibling?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm not. They're saying
I'm confused.
No, sorry. They're saying that the fact that they said your brother Luke implies that there's another brother?
I think,
or
but
another
I don't
sibling.
understand
That's incorrect.
That doesn't make any sense.
I don't think that's...
The only time I ever thought that there was possibly someone else involved besides Luke and Leia was in Star Wars, where, Luke goes to confront Vader, and, Yoda out of nowhere is like, no, there is another. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, well, who the fuck is it? And they never say who it is. Apparently it's supposed to be Leia, but, I don't know.
I think it's Qui-Gon.
Oh, yeah, no. He's
the answer to all these questions.
He's like, no, there is another. I'm like, yeah.
And you know who that was?
Who?
George Lucas, when he wrote that, was like, "We'll figure it out in the sequel."
Yeah, and it
I have
never
no
happened.
idea. Yeah.
So, let's see here.
So who would their sibling be?
I don't know.
Puke Skywalker.
Han. Han Skywalker.
No.
Okay, so that's all I have for the
Chewbacca.
regular stuff. But let's go on to. I've got a crap ton of stuff for like the Force Unleashed here.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Okay, so
These are all going to be speculation because we don't know what's going to happen.
this one I think is kind of cool, but you tell me what you think of it. Mace Windu is Snoke.
I think I've heard this one actually.
Really? Have you seen like the YouTube video about it?
No.
Okay. Yeah, the whole thing is that like Samuel Jackson continually says that like he wants to be in the new Star
Yes.
Wars. He said that like he didn't die. He talked to George Lucas and George Lucas was like, "You're not dead," and like you know.
He probably just said that to shut him up because calling the offices like every day.
Yeah, like-
I'm in Star Wars. I want to be in Star Wars. Please tell me I'm alive. Please.
And then like there's the whole thing where like he could like to look like that character, the lightning, just could have disfigured him.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. He, could have turned to the dark side because he was always a user of both dark side and light side.
He was?
With the purple lightsaber kind of like mirroring both the red and the blue of lightsabers. Mace Windu.
Pretty sure he just
Could
did that
be-
because he thought it was cool.
Well, they say that like that's one of the main reasons for that is that like, at least in the video, was that like his character was a well-known like his character backstory was like a well-known kind of character like Obi-Wan, where he was more so like, or not Obi-Wan, but Qui-Gon, where he was like a well-known Jedi that didn't necessarily, he wasn't straight up like when he was like, fuck it, we're gonna kill the Emperor or whatever, and Anakin was like, whoa, we're fucking Jedis. Like that kind of
This
stuff.
party's over. You're done.
Yeah, it's like, and he cut off fucking Jango Fett's head and shit like that. Like stuff Jedis that like you don't normally see Jedis doing that kind of stuff. Not saying he was evil, but that he would use more aggressive tactics.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Now Jedis.
Yeah.
They were saying that Mace Windu wanted revenge on the Skywalkers because Anakin was the one that pretty much led him to get screwed over, and he's trying to take revenge on the Skywalkers for that. And they're saying that possibly Finn is his son. So that was kind of like that whole deal. Now, whether or not, I mean, obviously, and unless they ever say anything about that, no one's ever going to know. And unless they reveal that. But I just thought it was kind of interesting. Whether or not, I don't know what you think about that.
Yeah. I think.
I mean, who knows? Like, I mean, as far as like, even if.
I think that he'll probably come back at some point. Probably not as Snoke, but maybe
Right.
in another role. Like he'll pop up in one of the movies.
That would be
Be
cool.
like, hey, I lived.
Yeah.
Probably because they're like, we can get Samuel Jackson for free. Like he'll pay us
Yeah.
to do these movies. Let's just throw him a bone.
Threw me a freaking bone here. Let's see here. So, one of the things is that they say that Rey is Emperor Palpatine's granddaughter.
Hey?
Here's some of the stuff. They say that like her fighting style, like she uses some of the same moves that I guess people put stuff side by side and said that like they're the same.
All right.
There's let's see here.
I mean, would that really mean anything? Like, would that make her any of a better character?
If she was actually Palpatine's granddaughter,
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Like,
Possibly.
do they need to
but-
really link every single person? in these
Yeah,
frickin'
I
movies?
know. It's just some of the things I'm seeing here is like her rage is from the Palpatines, her theme song, her accent. The counter argument is the Emperor was dead before Rey was even born, but in the fantasy world of Star Wars, there are ways around this. Clones, carbonite freezing. The Emperor could even already have a child we didn't know about, making Rey his granddaughter.
Well, there might be something because she has a British accent.
They were saying that with like the accent that possibly.
Because in Star Wars, like almost all the heroes don't have British accents, and all the
Right.
villains do have British accents.
Right. That's what they were kind of saying, is that like she has an accent that's kind of like.
And yeah, I read something about this because someone was saying, well, maybe she just can't do an American accent, but she can, because apparently she's done it in other movies. So that's not the reason.
Yeah.
What's the reason?
I know.
She's Palpatine's daughter.
She's Palpatine.
Oh no!
So they're saying, here's another one. Rey is a Skywalker.
I think that's what most people
Yeah, it
thought.
says, at this point, it'd probably be a bigger shock if Rey wasn't Luke Skywalker's daughter.
Yeah.
The whole movie seems to hint at it. And then it says, the next one is possibly, Rey is not a Skywalker, she's a Kenobi.
Yep.
It says, as YouTuber Mr. Sunday Movies explains, there are obvious parallels between Obi-Wan Kenobi and Rey. They're both skilled at using Jedi mind tricks. The scene where Rey hides on Starkiller Base is similar to when Obi-Wan was hiding to turn up the tractor beam, and like the accents.
Yeah, that's because they remade
The same.
Star Wars into another movie.
Wait, Rey is not a Skywalker. Or wait, Rey is a Skywalker and Kylo is her brother.
That could be.
Yeah. Rey is a survivor of the incident at Luke's Jedi Academy. It says, the fact that Rey seems to have this crazy untrained ability to use the Force could be looked at as a major plot hole, but what if it's not? What if Rey was trained? Many believe Rey's vision after touching Luke Skywalker's old lightsaber may have been repressed memories coming back. Fans say she was trained by Luke and was present at the tragic incident at Jedi training that caused him to go into seclusion.
What if Rey was Ray Charles?
Or Rey...
I like it like that. You got the right one, baby. Rey.
Kylo Ren saved Rey. What's this one all about? If Rey was getting attacked and Kylo let her live, it would explain why he freaks out after hearing a girl may have helped BB-8 and Finn escape from Jakku, and why he's so interested in her throughout the movie.
He freaks out all the time, though.
Yeah, it's true. Let's see. Let me see if I can find maybe... I thought I had another one here.
What if Rey was Chewbacca's daughter?
I'd be like, what? I'd be like, a what?
I mean, they're very similar. They both have 2 legs.
They both wear hair on their bodies.
They wear heads.
They wear heads. They've got heads on their bodies.
She's wearing that head all the time, just like Chewbacca.
I know, look at that shit. That's actually, I think, all of them. I thought I had more.
Okay, so those are all interesting.
Yes.
I'm all for speculating. Wild guesses.
Wild guesses.
Okay, how about this one? Can you explain to me why Lando wore Han Solo's clothes after he got captured?
You know the answer to this?
No.
Oh. I thought maybe you did, and you were like,
I
this
don't.
can be a question.
Do you know?
Okay, so, like, yeah, why Lando wears Han's clothes?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's
He
really
wears
weird,
his
right?
clothes?
Yeah. He's wearing his exact outfit, like at the end of Empire Strikes Back, when they go looking for him. Like he's wearing his actual clothes.
Why?
I don't know.
Have you ever looked it up on the internet?
No. But what about this? Why, in Return of the Jedi, when he's like undercover in Jabba's palace, he's
As, like, the dude...
bounty hunter or something, he's like wearing that mask.
Right.
Why does he pull down his mask for no reason?
Yeah.
To show, just to
you
show
can
to the
see-
camera.
Yeah.
That's
That's why.
that always bothered me.
Shows, like, shit looks at all the kitties. He's like, ooh.
It's like looks over the camera like wink.
Yeah. And everyone's just like, oh. I don't know. Do you have any...
Get him!
Yeah. It's like, shit. But did they even know who Lando was?
I don't know. Someone did.
Or wait, that's Return of the Jedi, right?
Yeah.
So they definitely knew who he was because...
That's why he was undercover. Wearing
Right,
maskers.
because in the second one, he was up in Cloud City and Darth Vader screwed him over.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is there any other things like that?
Whatever happened to Lobot? That dude was awesome.
I don't know.
He's like my favorite character.
Maybe he stayed behind to run Cloud City.
I guess someone had to, because Lando was like, everyone leave!
Yeah.
Like, what was going to happen after that?
I don't know. Lando just aborted that shit. He's like, I'm out.
Think about all those families.
I don't know.
Like, people lived there, right? It wasn't
Yeah.
just like a workplace.
Right.
Man. Hopefully they make a movie about that.
Lando and Lobot, the fucking horseshit adventures.
That'd be great.
I'm trying to think, like, I don't know. Have you seriously been thinking about that before?
No, but I'm thinking about it right now.
Oh. You should have been thinking
Because
about
Lobot
it.
was the bomb.
He was in, like, one scene, wasn't he?
Yeah. I mean, he never even
the guys
spoke.
with the earmuffs on, he couldn't
Yeah.
hear anybody. He was like, oh, fucking...
That one time he just, like, looked.
Yeah.
I was like, dude,
yeah.
Lobot's the man.
He looked. He's like, look up, look down, look down.
It's Lobot, the master of murder.
He's looking around like, Yeah, I guess they never really kind of, I wonder if, well, do you think they'll ever do anything with that whole thing where, like, Yoda was like, there's another person and it was, like, supposed to be, like, Leia?
Yeah, I think they pretty much just retconned that one, like, retroactively said, oh yeah, it was Leia.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's like,
'Cause
the official explanation.
Because she was able to, like, know exactly when Han Solo died in, like, The Force Unleashed, or The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
Because, like, when he dies, you see her, like,
She's
just
like,
fall over. She's like, oh my
Chewbacca went
gosh.
on that, like, kill.
That kill mission.
Yeah.
And he shot fucking
kill frenzy.
Kylo Ren, and Kylo Ren just took a knee with a fucking full-on blast.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit. I remember I thought that, I was like, at first I was like, man, what a shitty fucking, you know, like, Jedi if he fucking got hit. But then I was like, wait, if he got shot and if he's any other person, he would have fucking went flying into the air
like
and
those
died.
stormtroopers, when like they got hit, they would fly like 30 feet in the
And
air.
Kylo Ren got, like, shot in the face and was like, fuck it. He's like, it doesn't matter. He took a knee and then he was just like, okay.
You know one thing that I thought was really weird when that happened? Like, when he was setting all those bombs, Chewbacca was.
Yeah.
And then he, like, flipped that trigger. Like, we never saw Chewbacca's fingers before. It was really weird to, like, see his finger and thumb, like, dink!
Yeah, because usually it was just like a fur.
Yeah.
Like a fur mound.
That was weird.
I want to know where his son Lumpy was.
That's the question we need to answer.
Do you think they'll bring those characters in?
No. Even George Lucas was like, yeah, we messed that one up really bad. Like, he personally
You
tried to
think?
buy every copy so they could be destroyed.
God. And his son Lumpy. The fucking grandpa watching the porno in the living room. What the fuck?
Good times.
What the hell were they thinking? Han Solo shows up and he kills the shit out of that stormtrooper.
I've heard one theory that Han Solo didn't die.
That would be sweet, but I'm pretty sure Harrison Ford wouldn't.
If you can survive getting cut in half,
Well, I mean, I'm pretty
That's
sure
way worse
Harrison
than what
Ford
happened to-
wouldn't fucking be down for that shit.
yeah,
Because I've heard he's like trying to get the fuck out of there for years. I don't know if that's true though. I don't know if he actually wanted to die sooner than that in the series, or if it was just people say that because they think that he, you know,
I think that's true.
you think he wanted to
I think
die
that's
in
true.
like The Emperor Strikes
Yeah,
Back,
yeah.
or The Emperor Strikes Back.
He tried to convince,
George Lucas to like have him die in the carbonite freezing process.
yeah, or it's just at some point,
Yeah,
because he like always says Han Solo's like not a good character.
yeah,
So
But
he
likes
didn't want to keep playing him
Indiana
'cause he, like,
Jones
wasn't
more.
interesting. Yeah,
yeah.
but aren't they pretty like, very similar characters?
I don't know. I feel like he gave his all on the new one though, which was good.
He did.
At least he didn't half-ass it like he did in Indiana Jones and Crystal
Well,
Skulls.
it's funny when that came out. I saw him in an interview, and they're like, "Would you ever play Han Solo again?" And he's like, "No, never. That character's not interesting." And they're like, "Would you ever play Indiana Jones again?" And he's like, "In a New York minute."
It's like,
Why?
yeah.
But they are making a
Another-
new Indiana Jones.
Oh yeah.
I hope they bring back Mud.
Yeah. I hope they bring back a bunch of mutts, a bunch of dogs. He just has a sled
A
team.
bunch of dogs to murder Mud alive.
Yeah.
Rip him apart, boy.
Yeah. Mutts meet mutt.
Yeah.
Like, oh no.
Mud versus Mud.
Yeah. Mud off. Butt mud.
I don't even know why that's funny.
Yeah.
Indiana Jones and the Curse of Butt Mud.
First scene there in Skyline. And he's like looking around, and there's like all these like people like, you know, like across from him, like they're bad guys and shit.
If they keep making these movies, they'll be in like modern times at some point. There will be skylines around.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, what was the last one? It was like in the 50s or something.
Yeah.
Shit.
So we'll be in the 60s now. Like Indiana Jones is gonna be listening to Beatles records
on his fucking. I don't know. Yeah,
can't listen to the Beatles without earmuffs.
Yeah, fucking Sean Connery style. Fucking lame-o.
Maybe he could run into James Bond and they could both talk about how much they hate the Beatles.
I'd be like, "Is this horse shit? You believe in this shit?" Oh my god. I don't know, was there ever anything like Star Wars related that you were just like, you heard it, like a theory that like didn't come to happen but you thought was an actual thing that was going to be in a new movie and it didn't happen and you were like kind of surprised it didn't happen? Like when the prequels were going to happen, did you ever hear any like, you know, things that like were leaked on maybe like Ain't It Cool News or something and you were like, oh man.
Well, the NSYNC thing. Remember that?
What was that again? Explain it to the listeners that are
was going to have a cameo
that weren't born.
Episode 2. And I think they actually even filmed it.
Really?
Yeah.
But it's not ever seen the light of day.
Yeah.
But they were supposed to be like what? Like a
I think they were like
kind of like a new like Mos Eisley Cantina scene kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. And they were going to maybe perform like one of their songs but Star Wars themed. Okay.
Yeah.
But it just, people didn't like it, or there was such backlash, maybe, or what?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know why. The reason it wasn't actually in the movie, but I think all the fans were like, they all flipped out about it.
If they only knew, that would have been the highlight of the damn fucking series, or at least the prequel.
What are you talking about? Boss Nass was the tits.
He was the glamour shot of the CG. I don't think I've ever
rolling in the aisles.
I've never watched a movie that had worse CG now than when it was made. Like there are some things I'll watch now and be like you'll watch like Escape from like LA and you'll be like, okay, this is crap CG with the shark.
That's pretty bad.
But it's like you knew they weren't working with really great CG then.
Yeah.
But then like you look at the prequel, like episode 1, and you're like, dude, Jurassic Park was made before this fucking movie. How is this possible?
I don't think it was the CG itself that was bad, but like the way it was used. Like they used too much of it.
Well, that's for damn sure.
That pod race was cool.
The whole fucking movie was like a CG fest, like all 3 of them.
Yeah.
Like behind the scenes is just like actors in front of green screens and dudes in front of mean scenes. They're like,
George Lucas was eating some green beans.
Oh man! So that was the only thing you had heard though, was with NSYNC.
Yeah, I'm sure there were some. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if really there was anything that. Now, had you? What about like when they made the, like the special 90 whatever edition of like Star Wars and it came back out in theaters, and were you up on that at the time,
yeah,
as far as edits and stuff? Like you had heard maybe what they were putting in?
Yeah.
Was there anything that they didn't put in that you thought that they had said they were going to put in? Like
No.
scenes?
Because they put in everything they possibly could.
And
a lot of stuff that they definitely should not have.
Yeah. What did you think of the Jabba the Hutt scene that they had filmed like years ago?
It was one of the worst things ever.
They CG'd it, but it looked horrible.
Like, scenes are deleted for a reason.
Right.
Especially that one, because like the dialogue that is in that is almost identical to what they say a few scenes earlier.
Right.
Like they straight up repeat. It's like the same scene.
Yeah.
So they deleted it for a reason, because it was meaningless.
It was just funny to see that like originally Jabba the Hutt was possibly going to be.
It was just a dude.
Yeah, it was just like kind of like a shorter guy
like a big
than
fat
Han
guy.
Solo in like a fur vest.
Yeah.
Talking.
He was like
to
an
Han Solo.
Irish. He had like an Irish accent.
Yeah. And he like walked, you know. I don't know. It's like I feel like at that point they thought that he was going to be him, and then they were like, when they got to the point where they were going to actually make that character a full-fledged character, they made him like a awesome Jim Henson puppet.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, and it didn't really make sense that he could like maneuver as well as he could when like Well, I guess he couldn't really maneuver all that well in the barge because it was small as fuck. I always thought that maybe he was too fat to move, but I almost feel like the areas he was in were so small that he wouldn't really be able to move around that much anyway.
Yeah.
Because in the prequels, they showed Hutts moving all the time. Like, not all the time, but they were like... They would, like,
They were, like,
slug
slipping
up.
and sliding all over the place.
Yeah, they were like slugs. They would, like, come forward and be like,
yeah,
it's the pod race. I mean, I guess that's what they were saying. I forget what they were just like, they would come forward and be like, 2 Hutts here for the price of 1. And I'd be like, cool. That demystifies it, kind of, I guess. Or are these Hutts slipping?
Hutts be slipping.
Remember the announcer in the pod race?
Yeah.
And his heads were like flopping all over the place.
Yeah, it was
He's
great.
like, this is a fucking pod race. And I'm like, why are your heads fucking doing that? They were like arguing with themselves.
Yeah.
So what was like the one thing you, like when you went and saw, the re-releases in theater, you know, the 98 one I was just talking about, what was the thing that you didn't like the most as far as what they added?
Well, now I think I dislike almost everything.
Is this talking about like just in general, like? Yeah. Okay. Not, are you including like the stuff they added recently too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now,
like
I'm fine with all of it. Like I kind of wish George Lucas would make a new version every year because it'd be interesting and I'd watch it.
Right.
As long as you could go back and watch the originals if you wanted to.
Is that the thing that kind of makes you?
That's the only problem I have with any of it.
That it's like there's no originals to be seen. It's like take it or leave it.
Yeah, because his argument that he made those movies so he can do whatever he wants, and sure, like go for it.
Right.
Just as long as we can watch the originals if we choose to
do whatever you want.
But I think almost everything they added was bad.
Right.
I remember being pretty pumped that they added more Wampa stuff in the second one because I love the Wampa.
Yeah.
But it doesn't match with the original stuff. It looks like
it's
poorly edited.
It's like the Night of the Living Dead stuff they had.
Yeah, exactly.
That unauthorized thing where it's like
just don't do it.
Tell it's not even the same era.
Yeah. Just don't do it.
Yeah.
Or if you do it, be prepared for it to be one of the worst things ever.
Yeah. What was I guess that kind of covers it though, because I was going to ask, like, what was like the complete most hated thing that you could think of? I mean,
that Jabba scene's really bad. On top of the fact that like the CG in that scene specifically is probably one of the worst things.
It was like a rush job.
If you watch it now, you
can't believe what's happening.
I think they've gone and fixed it.
Right.
Like for the Blu-rays and stuff, like
I think they did that same thing with like when they made the Yoda in the episode.
Yeah.
And like then they re-CG'd it.
That actually was a puppet in the original one, and somehow it was way worse.
It looked like earwax.
It had no motion. They like they didn't break it in.
Yeah,
it was like a catcher's mitt that hadn't been broken in.
It was a weird like yellowish color too, and I was like, you do know Yoda's green, right? Like, I mean, I guess you could say that maybe he like aged green over time, but it was like in the next movie he looked way better.
Yeah,
and then they went back and fixed it in the prequel, and it was still kind of fucked up, and then they like re-fixed it again.
The one thing I hated probably the most was the Sarlacc pit.
Oh, that they added like what? What did they add?
They added a CGI creature that like pokes out the whole time,
like a beak or whatever.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That because I thought that was always one of my favorite scenes because it was
like
cool.
Shit, what's in there? That's scary as fuck.
Yeah, and like it's called a pit.
Yeah,
like not a beast.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, it's like
there's something in there that eats
or like eats people and eats things, but it's like what's in there. Instead, now it's just it's just tentacles and a beak. It's like you're gonna die, but it's like, what's the point of the fucking pit if there's just a beak?
Yeah, that was so unnecessary.
Yeah. Because the beak, like, stops more shit from coming in.
Yeah. And it just looked like crap.
Yeah,
like it was a crappy design.
Yeah.
Well. I really didn't. I disliked that one.
What about the stuff that they added recently with the whole screaming and shit?
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
What was that all about? Explain to like people that haven't really watched the new edits.
So they added when Darth Vader kills the Emperor.
Right.
They added him screaming no.
Like the Emperor says that?
No, Darth Vader does.
Oh, he says no? Like, as he's grabbing him.
Yeah, he's like, no! And they just edited the no from the prequel into that.
To make it, like, come full circle?
Yes. That's why. Yeah. But it doesn't really work. It's silly and it's unnecessary.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that was Darth Vader the whole time!
It's like, no shit.
Like, we knew that. That was the whole point of the 6 movies or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was...
What else did they add?
They added CGI eyelids to the Ewoks.
Oh, that's right.
To make them blink.
That's weird.
Which is like, never cared that they didn't blink.
Yeah. Didn't they also add the whole thing with Anakin?
Oh, as the ghost?
Yeah.
They replaced the old man with the young man.
Yeah.
For some reason. Even though they didn't replace the old Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Or the young... like
Yoda?
Like,
yeah, it made no sense.
Yeah.
It was George Lucas running amok.
He was stopped right then and there.
Yeah.
I think that's all the edits they've done to that one, right?
Well, they changed the Ewok song, which was annoying.
That one changed a bit ago, though, right?
Yeah.
Didn't they change in the 90 version or something? Or the 2000, I forget which one.
They got rid of Yub Nub.
Yeah. Trying to think. Were there any edits they did for the prequels? Because I think...
The Yoda thing was a big one.
Yeah. That was kind of something that was just like an enhancement, though.
Yeah, I think they've done some stuff like that. I don't remember exactly what.
Right. That's just so weird. To, like, grow up with a movie and then, like, it's not like they added scenes to it. It's like they did add scenes, but they're ones that, like, are clearly not...
Yeah. The funny thing is, he did this to his other movies, too. And no one seems to care as much.
Which ones?
Like THX 1138.
Oh.
He added a whole bunch of CGI into that bad boy.
Really?
Yeah.
God damn it.
And that's actually a really awesome movie.
Is it, like, good? Is it, like, adds anything, or is it fucks
No.
everything up? It's, like, stupid.
It just jumps out as being like, that doesn't look
right.
like it fits in with the rest of this really cool
Right.
movie. Like, what's his name's in that movie? The guy from Donald Pleasance?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool movie. And he did the same thing with American Graffiti.
What?
Like, he CGI'd in different sunsets and stuff, like to make them more dramatic looking.
What? I didn't know that.
Yeah. So, like, he's tampered with all of his
Has
movies.
he done anything with Indiana Jones?
I
don't... Maybe Spielberg was like, don't.
Yeah, I think Spielberg locked that crap down. Like
Weird.
They CGI in mud, like, in the background of...
He's like, ooh. He's wearing a baby, like, greaser jacket.
He gets his heart ripped out in that cult. It's like, yeah!
He's like, he gone. Well, I mean, I can't really think of any more Star Wars, related things unless you... I mean, have you heard anything about what they're going to do for the next movie? I mean, obviously it's going to have Mark Hamill in it because he was in the end of the last one, but...
Yeah, I haven't... I've been trying to stay away from
Right.
reading about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I fear they're going to oversaturate the market with Star Wars, and it's going to lose being special.
There you have it, folks.
The end.
A series that's oversaturated the market years ago.
Yeah, but not with movies. With everything else. Like, I think they're going to make
well,
too
that's
many
almost
movies.
been worse. I feel like the other stuff.
Oh,
like,
it's out of control.
When they made those books, when they have, they have all the the cartoons and stuff. That kind of stuff to me is worse than if they made movies. At least the movies feels like they at least put thought into them. Depending on.
Well, we'll
if they're
see.
good or not.
Like, the one that comes out this year is by the guy that directed Godzilla, which was one of the worst movies I've seen in years. So I don't really have... I think it's going to be really bad. We'll
There's
see.
no way that movie can be worse than the prequels. But then again, like... I've only seen the trailers. I don't think there's ever going to be a movie that's worse than those Star Wars-wise, unless they get, like...
At least the prequels were one person's vision. It was a crappy vision, and it should have been stopped. But at least it's not like
What do you think happened?
movie
by the way,
making
with
by
that?
committee with the prequels.
Well, as far as like, do you think it was just one? Do you think it was George Lucas and he had a vision and nobody around? He didn't have.
Yeah, he had a team of like
yes men.
enablers that would do whatever he said, and like no one stopped him. No one said, maybe think about something else.
Yeah. Have you ever watched any of that behind the scenes stuff and how weird it is?
Yeah.
To watch people laugh at jokes that aren't funny and just.
Yeah, everyone sucks up to him so bad, and
Yeah.
it's really funny because the best parts are where, like the art team like
comes
makes
up with something and he's like
they make 100 models of like different creatures,
and he's like, I want this from
give
this.
me the head of that and the body of that and throw the rest away, and all the guys are like,
Yeah. It's like,
I missed my children's graduation to make these.
Right. I think like the scene I saw was when it was like all the different looks for the diner dude.
Mm-hmm.
And like he's like, I want this on this and this on this, and like it's just the guy that made all the stuff is just like his face is just like, oh shit.
You could tell like he's crying on the inside.
I mean, I guess he's getting paid, but it's like I don't know. I wonder how many people going into that, like I'm sure there were a shit ton of people that went into that movie and were like, I'm a yes man, I know what, like, but I wonder how many people signed on for that, being like, this is going to be my dream project, I'm getting to work with George Lucas, this is so awesome, we're making the next Star Wars.
Probably everyone.
And they got there and they were like, shit.
Well, he lost it, damn it.
Yeah, or like, well, I mean, like, he would, like, I wonder if any, how many people, like, told him that was a stupid idea, or, like, it wasn't a good idea, and they were just...
No one.
Shit canned.
Yeah, I bet no one did that.
What would you have done if you were working there?
I would.
Would you be a yes man, or would you?
I don't know. I never thought about it.
Yeah.
Probably, if it was my job.
Yeah. It's hard to go against like your boss when you know that he's a fucking idiot. Especially if it means your job and it's like you're working on one of the biggest things ever to be made ever.
Well, they probably didn't know. They were probably like, well, that sounds like a horrible idea, but he's George Lucas.
Well, yeah, that, they were probably, like, unless you were, like, in part of the inner circle that were probably his yes men anyway, you probably weren't privy to every single other part of the movie that was being made. You were probably just like, okay, I'm making, like, the music, and John Williams is like, okay, cool, I know what I'm doing, and he did. He did awesome. In fact, that was probably the only superb part throughout the entire series.
It definitely was superb.
And then, like... You have the guys that made like the designs and the costumes, and those weren't bad either. But it was like, they didn't know.
Did you see that wig on Amidala?
Yeah,
awesome.
The styling and shit.
Yeah.
But it's like they didn't know that like the dialogue was going to be weird, or that like some of the scenes were going to kind of turn out the way they did, or like some of the creatures.
The performances would be not great.
Yep,
they're not as bad as you make them out to be.
What, the performances?
No, the movies.
They're definitely by far like the worst Star Wars movies, but
yes,
there's no way that
there's a lot worse movies out there.
Oh yeah,
there's lots of things to like about those movies. Like you said, the music.
Yeah, that's pretty much the only thing.
What about what's his name? Obi-Wan Kenobi. That guy was awesome in those movies.
He was okay.
He was a great performance.
He was kind of lackluster. I felt like he's a little bit different than like the Obi-Wan and the older.
Really?
Yeah,
I liked him.
But it's
about Qui-Gon Jinn?
Qui-Gon Jinn
classic
was
character.
Probably the best part as well.
See,
but the biggest part is they
bad.
killed off the fucking character, so it doesn't matter.
Apparently they didn't.
Well, if he's alive, I would be so happy. But it wouldn't be because of the prequels. I'd be happy because he's in the new movies, because they fucked up and killed him off in the prequels.
I think he said he wants to come back, Liam Neeson.
Dude, I would be so fucking happy.
It would be great.
That character was a character that I liked, even in the first movie, even after seeing it a couple times and being like, maybe this isn't as good as I thought it was. Because it was just really awkward and stuff, and just kind of like, it's okay, it's not like awesome or anything. And then like, just being like, they killed him off. And it's like, why? I don't know. They should have killed off Obi-Wan.
That'd be hilarious.
of them would be there, kill him off, and they're like, oh fuck.
And then in the special editions, they just erase him from every scene he was in.
Or like they forgot that he was
Replace
alive
him with Jar Jar.
in the later ones, and they just killed him in the prequels. Could see that happen.
Oops.
Yeah.
Hopefully they'll do that to Bud Mutt in the sequels.
Yeah. I hated Darth Maul. I'm probably the only one.
Why?
He's just so fucking tripe. It's like the same old bullshit.
Oh, like generic?
Well, it's like the character that doesn't speak and he's supposed to be the badass. Like, holy
Yeah.
shit, he's got a double-sided lightsaber. And it's like, I also got pissed off that, like, there were a couple times when, like, I guess it all comes back
You
to,
didn't
like,
giggle like a little schoolgirl when he pulled that thing out?
when Qui-Gon Jinn fucking got killed. It still pisses me off the whole time that knowing it's just, man, this is going to turn into a fucking Star Wars Episode 1 prequel fucking podcast.
You planned this all along, didn't you?
No, it just happened. But like the whole being able to run really fast and then they just not using it at the end of the movie. Like, it's so weird to think that like you would demonstrate something and just not even use it ever again.
I can't argue
Because it's like usually in a movie it's so...
like at the beginning of the movie, they'll show that someone has god powers, and then just forget about it.
Well, it's like... It's like a lot of times they'll foreshadow something in a movie, like the whole movie of The Force Awakens. I know someone's gonna die, and I know it's gonna be Han Solo. Like, because like the more they talked about their son, and the more like he was gonna go confront him, you knew it was foreshadowing to him dying. Like, what would happen if they fucking got there and Han Solo fucking? He's like, okay, I'll come home with you, and that was the end of the movie. I'd be like, what the fuck is this? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
it just... Things just didn't add up. And that's my only... I think that's one of my biggest complaints is, like... I'm fine with going along with a bunch of bullshit as long as, like, the rules make sense. And, like, they follow their own stuff. Like, let's add all these extra powers, like super high jumping and fucking being able to run super fast. But if, like, you're not gonna let a Jedi use
If running
them,
super fast would have saved someone's life, why didn't he do it?
Right, and they used it at the beginning of the movie when they really didn't have to.
Yeah.
Like, they could only use it like once per week, and they fucked up.
I think that one of the problems is Star Wars movies get scrutinized to way more of a level than any other movie.
I think every movie gets scrutinized a lot, but
he changed THX 1138. No one gives a crap. No one even knows about it.
Well, that's also because not a lot of people probably haven't even watched that movie.
Well, they should. It's just as good as Star Wars.
That's debatable. I just wanted to use that line.
It's probably not as... It's a really good movie, though.
I agree. But it's just one of those things where, like... Okay, so, like... Steven Spielberg has made a lot of movies, but, like... You would never be like... You know, I remember Steven Spielberg for, like... I don't know, like... One of his lesser-known movies, you would instantly think, like, Jaws or, like, Indiana Jones or something.
The Terminal, that shit was the best.
Like that, you wouldn't think of that.
Yeah.
I mean, you did just now, but that's because, like, you're a huge movie buff. But, like, it's like, when you think George Lucas, you think Star Wars. And it's not because Star Wars was, like you said, it's, like, way better than THX. It's just because it became a cultural phenomenon, and now people... You know.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it's a lot harder to like get away with stuff in a Star Wars movie.
Like getting away with like horse shit.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't help that like at least in some of the times they've really fucked up the stuff in them as far as like ideas and like just
but
powers and stuff.
Like that new Jurassic Park movie came out last year and it was horrible.
Yeah, I'm not gonna disagree with you.
But no one was up in arms about that.
It's because people were fucking idiots.
There you go. I think we cracked the case.
Well, okay, so like I love what's his face, Chris Pratt.
Yeah,
he deserved better than that movie. That movie fucking sucked.
I agree. It was really, really bad. It was insultingly bad.
Well, god damn it. It's just fucking stupid. It's like...
It's so stupid. What are you doing?
It's fucking stupid, Mini Me.
You're gonna make a minging ass raptor army?
What are you gonna do next? Whatever the fuck I don't know. But yeah, it's like, okay, so I agree.
Raptors are horse shit.
Well, I think the reason why people didn't scrutinize that is because so many people were like pumped for New Jurassic Park that
they're like, oh, dinosaurs!
Well,
I saw a dinosaur.
They were happy that it was better than, or they were happy that they were like, oh, it's better than 3 in their minds, so they were like flipping out about it. They didn't think that it was like absolute shit.
Yeah.
Or not absolute shit, but that it was just like, what's the point of this?
Yeah.
Like, whereas like,
and now that guy's directing episode 9.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. Can't wait.
Wow. He has better material to work with.
Better.
Jurassic Park was only really good at the first one, I feel like.
Yes, I agree.
Like, the second one, the third ones were... But it's like, why the fuck would you ever go back to the same shit again? It's like 4... And they made a fucking...
Dollar bill, y'all!
They made a real fucking park in the 4th one. And it's like, what the fuck? Why would anybody go to that park? It's like... It's different with Star Wars. It's not like fucking calamities happen like...
Yeah.
You know, I mean, yeah, there's the Death Star and stuff, but...
I'm pretty sure they keep just making Death Stars in every movie now.
They had a planet-sized
Your
one.
argument may...
Well, no, I mean, I'm saying that, like, if you live, like, on the Outer Rim, who gives a fuck if there's a Death Star? They're not going to come over and blow up Tatooine.
Tell that to those people that got murdered by that beam.
They weren't on Tatooine, though.
They were on
the people that are on Tatooine, it was like, who gives a fuck about the shit that happens out in space? The Empire's never going to come and try to take over Tatooine. So that's why, like...
Dangerous thoughts, man.
It's true, though.
That kind of thinking is what'll get you in trouble. This is how the Nazis started. That won't affect me. I live in Poland.
Well, do you think that people really didn't want to take over Poland? I'm sure they had something. It's like no one wants to take over Tatooine because there's literally just sand there. Like,
why did all the Star Wars happen?
They have to fucking farm water. They're fucking a bunch of idiots.
Get it from Naboo. Just transport that shit over. That place has too much water.
How cost effective that would be. And actually, how far away are they? I guess it wouldn't matter if you go to light speed or whatever.
Yeah.
But, like, there's planets that are farther out than, like, Tatooine and other planets that are probably like, I don't give a fuck about the Empire. The Empire never lands on our planet because they just don't give a fuck. They want to take over the galaxy and rule by power and stuff.
Yeah.
Where, like, stuff like that does happen and stuff's on the line, but it's not like you have a choice in the matter. It'd be like if you were like, okay, I'm going to go to this planet and I know the Empire's here, but maybe they're not going to be here today, and you go there and they're always there. That's what Jurassic Park was for 4 fucking times. It's like they were blowing up a planet every movie, and you knew that it was going to happen. You're like, maybe today it'll be different.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm kind of surprised, I don't know, that was able to happen in Jurassic World, but whatever. But back to the subject, yeah, like why people don't scrutinize other movies as much. Yeah, it depends on like the cultural significance. I feel like if say like, I mean, Bill and Ted had a bigger, like, they were bigger, obviously they're making the 3rd one, but it's like people are going to go see it, but they're not going to be fucking ripping like it to pieces because it's like a goofy ass fucking movie to begin with, and it's not like people are getting murdered and all kinds of bullshit in it. It's like,
yeah. Luke's step-parents getting roasted by Boba Fett.
It's just like dire shit isn't on the line every single movie.
Yeah.
And I think, I don't know, maybe it's just because it means so much more to people everywhere, like more people than like, say, like fucking Casper the Friendly Ghost movie did. Like if they made a new one, like people would be like, who gives a fuck? You know what I mean? It's like there are movies that go under the radar and they're able to make sequels and no one cares about it. It's because like not many people were like, not many people gave a shit in the first place. And then there's Star Wars where it's like everything is scrutinized because there's been like 3 really awesome ones. There's been 3 ones that were like, depending on who you talk to, that were like, okay, they were definitely worse. And then there's the new one that people were scrutinizing and wondering it's going to be good. Who, depending on who you talk to, they either loved it, or they thought it was okay, or they hated it. So it's like every single time they make one, it's going to be like you said, like super scrutinized and stuff. And I think, it didn't help that like the first four were like, or the first three were the first four. There's a secret movie. It's a secret movie.
Return of the Return of.
Yeah.
He returns again
with fucking Dash Rendar as the main fucking villain.
Don't even talk about that.
Dash Rendar.
Get my hopes up. Or Shadows of the Empire movie.
Fucking Han's brother. God. And his co-pilot instead of like Chewbacca was like an IG-88 droid or some shit. It's like, but he went after an IG-88 droid. I was like, why?
He went after IG-88?
Yeah, I was like, why are you chasing this motherfucker down when your pilot is like a fucking IG-88 model?
Why did Kyle Smith delete my game with all my points?
It's one of the true mysteries.
We'll never know.
Wampa Stompa.
So if you're listening, Kyle, I've never forgot.
Yeah.
And I never will.
Should. So, hopefully that answers your question, Matt.
All right. Final thoughts on Star Wars conspiracy theories?
We got way off track as usual. But, I don't know. I mean, all this stuff's up in the air until they, like, for sure unmask people or, like, Boba Fett's supposedly dead. Is he alive? He's probably dead because he's in the Sarlacc pit, but you never know.
In some comic book or some cartoon, I'm sure he popped out.
Right, so. Darth Maul, he's fucking dead.
I saw him die. He was cut in half.
Or is he coming back? Who knows? And then there's Qui-Gon Jinn. He was burned, but who knows?
More like Darth Small.
I think the most the one's the most legit is the Mace Windu one, because you saw him fall, but it's like fucking
he's a Jedi.
Luke Skywalker fell super far, and then like even Anakin.
Oh, that was another edition that they made.
What?
So in the 90s edition, when he fell, they added in a scream. So he was like, ah!
And you're just like, okay.
And it was so bad that they took it out in the Blu-ray. So like that was one change that he undid.
Because he was like,
he was like, oh, this is so dumb sounding.
Yeah.
What were they thinking?
Yeah. Especially because if you were falling, you wouldn't scream for that long.
I know. So he fell for like 1,000,000 miles.
Yeah. But like he fell and he lived, and then they had like Anakin in the movie before, he like jumped like thousands of feet down and landed on a car and lived.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
He like slid into some barrels and he was fine.
Yeah, and I'm just like, Mace Windu wouldn't have died from the fall. I think if anything he would have been injured and, disfigured, but
if there was one character that you hope they bring back, who would it be?
Like that died, or just in general?
Just in general.
I was pretty bummed when they killed Han Solo, but I feel like it's something that they probably should keep him dead. Darth Vader obviously is dead as shit, but it would be cool if he came back. But I know that he's not, because they burned him to fucking shit.
They should make him come back and this time put James Earl Jones in the suit where he belonged from the beginning.
He's like short as shit.
It's Tulsa Doom.
I don't know. What about you?
Lobot.
Okay. What?
Bring back Lobot. That dude was the man.
An actual character, Matt.
Don't. How dare you?
Would you bring back Lando Calrissian?
Yeah.
You would?
I think he will come back, too.
Yeah, I think so, too. He'll come back and all his clothes that he found at the bottom of that shaft.
He was wearing his clothes when he was frozen.
Yeah. Maybe he undressed him. And
like real quick, right before they froze him.
He's like,
give me them clothes.
Yeah. He's like, boom, hello.
Get your clothes on.
Show me them clothes.
Drink this Colt 45. Works every time.
Let me see them clothes. Where's your clothes at?
That's a nice vest you're wearing. Wish I'd be wearing that vest.
Give me them clothes. You stupid motherfucker. Why'd you bring them clothes in here? All places, children.
Your clothes cook?
Qui-Gon would be cool.
Yeah.
If they brought back Darth... I don't like Darth Maul, but if they brought him back and they brought back, like, Count Dooku, like together with like General Grievous, that would be stupid as shit.
They should bring him back like the guys from Superman 2 and that little like
they come out of the shit. They come
that
out
little
of the
jail thing.
Yeah.
Space jail.
But they got killed. Like, oh.
Yeah. And Christopher Lee's dead in real life.
Oh yeah, that's true. I forgot about that. Well, maybe not Count Dooku or General Grievous. Darth Maul I could see coming back. I mean, as far as like if they want to say that he lived, like if he comes back, I don't know what the fuck they do with that. I mean, who would he fucking want to go against? Maybe
he's not really a character.
Yeah, he was just like he never really had lines. He was just like an instrument,
right?
For like the Sith.
It's like a cool looking weapon,
right? Unless like they'd have to do some major fucking backstory or bullshit. But I wouldn't really. I mean, that's not a character I would be like, I can't wait to see him. I'm sure some people would, but yeah, I'd have to say Qui-Gon would be cool. Mace Windu would be cool.
Yep, that would be cool.
I don't know. I mean,
Yoda.
I would want Yoda to come back in like Visions to help like Luke, or maybe help. What's her face?
Yeah.
Because like they had Obi-Wan come back to like kind of help Luke a little bit. He's like, I did tell you that like your father died from a certain point of view, you know, and talk to him and stuff, which was kind of fucking stupid that he said that in the first place. But it's like, what?
What if Luke is evil?
Like he's like training her to be evil?
No, like they never clarified like what his deal was. What if he went to the dark side?
Yeah.
In the beginning of the next movie, he chops off Rey's head.
That would be like an immense waste of money. More so than all the CG and the
It would be
prequels.
pretty cool.
I'd be like, holy fuck. That would be a big turn, but I'd be surprised if they didn't.
I don't know, he had a weird look on his face.
He was like, he's like, oh my god, there are people here? Fuck. I thought this was a Scottish Isle.
He's like,
what would be the character you'd be most pissed off about them bringing back?
Ewoks.
Ewoks. Oh, like in general? Just
yeah.
Like having them come from a planet.
Not a fan.
Yeah.
Should have been Wookiees like they originally intended.
Yeah, they cheaped out on that shit.
Yep.
And then when they finally showed the Wookiee planet, it was like the stupidest shit ever. Because it would have been like not CG in the prequels, or I mean the sequels.
They made like 3 real Wookiee suits.
Yeah. Did they?
I think so.
Know what happened?
But out of like 1 million Wookiees that they like CGI'd in that.
That would have been cool as fuck. It would
have made sense.
Yeah, it would have actually made more
Yeah.
sense than that battle that took place. That was like a bunch of fucking like mini-me's fucking fighting
like,
dudes.
Like hitting a guy with this stick and he somehow dies.
Yeah.
Like, it would have been sweet. Like, Wookiees, like, tearing guys apart.
Yeah.
That would have been badass.
Dude, when, what was it? Like, at the end when they had all the helmets off and shit, I was like, what the fuck
And they were, like, playing drums.
Yeah, I was like, I guess these people were dead. It's not like the helmets
Did
were
they
just
eat them?
taken.
Did they eat the bodies?
I would think so, because fucking, at the beginning, they were going to eat fucking the...
Yeah.
Han and Luke and all them.
It's pretty horrifying.
They were putting them on a spit roast and shit. And
yeah, like they had a stormtrooper feast.
They were like, here we go. And I was like, you fucking animals. They're fucking beasts. Jesus. Yeah, I like all the original Star Wars more, but that's a scene that like I can't really like watch and be like, this is completely logical.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it's a fantasy series, but like it's like when you watch like The Great Khali versus Hornswoggle. You're not gonna be like, oh, the Great Khali's gonna lose this one. It's like, dude, it's just not.
Didn't he lose?
I think. Well, yeah, but that's because like they smashed his head with 2 tree trunks.
Yeah.
It's like he's like, ooh. But yeah, I think if my most hated thing for them to bring back would not necessarily like the Gungans, because honestly, I think if they would have done that right, that could have been way cooler than it was. They just made him goofy as fuck, and that's what was so stupid. Yeah. Like, it's not so much that they were goofy; it's that like they were goofy by association with a character. You know what I mean? That was like the first thing you saw. Look, they should have introduced the Gungans first, and then introduced Jar Jar. Because then it would have had more weight on Jar Jar being an idiot and being like a goofy character. Instead, it was like, hey, these Gungans are fucking all stupid as shit because they're fucking associated with this person, and they elected a fat ass as a boss.
Who's somehow a different race?
Yeah, he was like fucking. He was like
a
Marlon
toad
Brando
man.
or some bullshit. It was fucking Triple Chin McGee. Yeah, he was like you're right. He was like a toad. He's like a Shrek.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm trying to think if there's really anything I wouldn't like for them to bring back. Probably if they brought back Boba Fett, because I never really liked Boba Fett either.
I like Boba Fett in the original movies because he just popped up for like a few seconds and looked cool.
I just
to it.
It's kind of like with Darth Maul. I'm fine with him dying like he did, and same thing with Boba Fett. But if people
so you just said he died.
Well, I'm fine with him.
Gotcha.
Dying.
Gotcha.
I never said that he wasn't dead. I just said that some people say that he's alive and stuff. I don't like when like they've taken Darth Maul and Boba Fett and said that they're like all these badass characters and have these like cool stories and they survive when it's like, dude, those guys were like just throwaway badasses.
They were punks.
Yeah. Like
like Boba Fett died in the most humiliating way possible.
That's my favorite part of the movie.
He's like, oops.
The way he dies is like my favorite part. He's like, Boba Fett where? And he just fucking slaps his ass and fucking he's whoop, whoop, fucking fucking goes flying into the side of the thing and the
he screams like a bitch.
That's how like Pitt's like and you're like, oh. But
yeah. Well,
I can't really think of anything else as far as like who I wouldn't want to be in the movies. Maybe if they brought back like shit, because like I don't know.
How about this? If you could be anyone in any of the Star Wars movies, who would you be?
Probably Qui-Gon Jinn.
Nice.
Because I would
the ultimate wise Jedi.
Because I would have like done shit differently.
Yeah, you play by your own rules.
Yeah.
Nice.
I would have like not. I would have done exactly what he did, except for like
not die.
Yeah. Well, like, the way that happened was just so fucking stupid. Not only that, but the way Obi-Wan Kenobi won was the fucking stupidest way, because he won the exact same way that fucking Anakin lost.
Yeah.
By fucking jumping from below.
You're right.
Like,
I have the high ground.
It's like, apparently it doesn't matter, because you had the low ground and you still won before, you hacking bitch. And I like Darth Maul just stood there with his dick in his hand.
He's like, oh.
Yeah, he was like, duh. Fucking bullshit. He should have just been like that and just cut him in half.
Yeah. That would have been graphic.
That would. He's like, he's just like
turns him into pieces.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, there's no way that shit would happen nowadays if Liam Neeson was in that movie. That shit wouldn't happen. This was before.
Yeah, he pulled out like a 45 and blown
before
away.
Taken and all this other awesome badass shit. This was back before he was like, you know, like
he would unload a whole clip into Darth Maul.
Big movie star, like, you know, as big as he is now. It's like, they wouldn't hire someone like that and just be like, okay, you know. I would love to see Keanu Reeves in fucking Star Wars. That would be cool.
As Ted?
As like John Wick.
Nice.
Or just like a character like that, like
Space John Wick.
Or maybe that'd be cool if they had Bill and Ted in the movies, but like as aliens, kind of like joke, you know, like a homage.
Okay.
Or like Bebop and Rocksteady, that would be cool.
Yeah.
Because they're like different looking, so I'm sure that would never happen, but that'd be cool.
Nice.
They need to have a cool joking, like not joking, but like a fun duo. I think maybe that was the biggest problem with Jar Jar 2. They didn't have like a buddy system going on. He was a third wheel at every fucking party.
Even dumber sidekick.
Well, like they just needed two of them that were actually kind of like something. I don't know. Like I think that's why Bebop and Rocksteady works. Is because first they're not as fucking goofy as Jar Jar because they at least kill and fucking shoot.
They kill?
Well, I mean, like they kill people and they murder people, but they attack. Jar Jar is like Goofy from
he accidentally
Disney.
like wins a battle.
Yeah, it's like flight school with Goofy, and he's like flopping all over the place, and he's like, "I won," and I'm like, "What? How?" Yeah, but yeah, okay, that's pretty much it.
All right.
Well, thanks for listening, guys. It's an hour and 21 minutes here. I think maybe from now on we should just set it to like, we'll try not to go over 90 minutes for podcasts.
Yeah.
Sounds like a pretty good idea.
Yeah, definitely.
We will never let this podcast go over 90 minutes.
That's the Matt and Mike pledge.
Yes. So, as usual, thanks for listening, guys. It was all about Star Wars. Not all, because we went over on other shit too, but that's what you get when you pay for fucking us.
Yeah.
So,
by the way, when do those checks start rolling in?
Well, thanks for listening, guys. Bye.
Bye. Robot rule. Jesus.